Okay, so tonight we are building air jaws. This is the final episode of Shark Week, and we're going to build out air jaws tonight and see how it looks. I may have a surprise at the end. I don't know yet. We'll see how confident I am tonight. I'm not quite sure on the confidence level here. Anyway, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Good to see ya. Happy Friday, the end of Shark Week. And we're just kind of rocking this. We're going to start off with building air jaws first. We're going to build the shark. And then I got to figure out how we want to put it together. Because I like I said, I may have a surprise with it tonight. You're going to see how confident I really feel. All right, let's get air jaws started and built. Set that down. We're going to grab a holding rod here that's of suitable size. This guy is a little big. Can't make a tiny air jaws. What's up? How's everybody doing? Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Tonight on the tubes, we have members only on the horizontal version of the tubes tonight. So if you want to go check out that, you can. And let's go ahead and start building air jaws. I need one more flame. I got my big flame. Get my lightsaber fully engaged. And here we go. So we're going to start out by building the big great white shark. I was going to do it in full color, but I think I'm going to build it and then we'll sandblast half the shark. So wherever the white is for the normal great white, we'll sandblast it and give it that great white look with clear. I think that'll look really good. All right, let's go. We're building up the body for the air jaws. So this is the great white. And then once I get the body built, we got to put a little bell clacker in that bell shark too, the dinner bell. So we're going to make that too. So right now we're just building up air jaw's body. What's up, Smalls? How you doing? Welcome into the member-only live stream. You guys get the full horizontal view. I do have a new camera I'm trying out tonight too. We're going to switch over on the vertical feed in a little bit. Give it a little bit of a test and then go back to the normal view. But I'm trying out a new camera tonight. But yeah, so we're building air jaws right now. I love the great white. I wish it had more fins. It doesn't have like that really unique fin look, but it's still cool. So we're still building up the raw bodies section here. We have our lightsaber torch going full blast, which is a good thing. Okay, we got a couple more minutes of this. Yeah, need more. This is a big shark, so we got to make a big piece. And we're still going. See, we got a lot of body left to build in here. I didn't realize how big the great white body is compared to normal sharks, like a lemon shark or a thresher have a very streamlined body. The great white has a massive torso. They almost look pregnant, kind of. All right, we're almost there. Yeah, it's going faster than I thought. I must have gotten a really good oxygen tank with ultra pure oxygen in it. Sometimes the oxygen tanks have a little bit of variation of the purity. So when you're running 99% pure oxygen, it's a lot hotter. When you're running like 97, 96, it's a little cooler. I can definitely tell the difference. Okay, we're at that point. We got most of the body done. We're going to start working on the tail section of it. And like I said, the torso is just massive. By the time I'm done with this, I could be a marine biologist for sharks. Not. All right, there we go. We're looking good. We got this grin super fantastic. We're going to start pulling the tail down, a little tapering right now. So we're just pulling it down just a tiny bit. Has to be done very, very slow. We'll get these little stretch marks in there. Okay, we're going to come down on size on the flame. It's a warm day today too. It's a little hot. So I'm definitely going to be roasting out here for a little bit till the sun goes down a tiny bit. Ooh, did you see that? I caught most of it. Caught most of that. So there's our basic body. I got to pull the tail down a little bit further. And then we'll start making the actual fins. Oh, there's a hot spot on there. Forgot. And we're going to attach this, and then we're going to pull the tail a little bit further out. Give it that nice torpedo shark body. So I'll just let you guys know what I have planned. I'm going to try a scuba diver tonight with air jaws. I'm going to see if I can do a scuba diver. So that's the plan for the secret item that we'll be making, is the scuba diver to go with air jaws. I don't think I've ever made a scuba diver. I can't remember ever having made one. But we're going to get the shark done first. And and then I'll base it from there. And there we go. Ooh, it's already hot. So there's our little torpedo shape. We have to work on the head area, and then I'll start making all the fins. I may have to refine it just a little before we add them, but it's pretty close. Yeah, I was debating on making a seal or the scuba diver with it. I thought the scuba diver would be a little more challenging. Backup is the seal. Okay, I got a little bit left right here. Just got to taper it down just a tiny bit. Okay, we're good there. I'm going to make sure this holding rod is very well attached so it doesn't fall off halfway through making it. And there's our nice little torpedo shape. I do have to fix this a little bit. It's got a little bit of a bump on it. Fix that up before we go any further. Much better. Much, much better. Pull this down just a little right there. And we're good. So there's our initial shape for the great white shark. So it's about right. It's about proportionately correct. Okay, now we're going to start building the actual fins to it. Make sure I got the right size. Here we go. So we're going to start with the back ones. Get rid of this little scrubby glass right here. So whenever I cut the glass rods, they leave little scars. So we got to pull that little end off. All right, let's go. Right now I just have to build up enough bulk material so we can pull it down into the first part of the fin. I don't know why, but that always looks like an airplane to me when we start. It so much looks like an airplane. right, let me turn this torch down noise-wise a little. Okay, good. We're going to attach here. And that is looking good. So there's our first hole right there, a little bit of a shark fin. We're going to go to the back end and probably pull it a little bit shorter on the next one. They have different sizes of them. Been looking for someone to make a custom glass piece? Well, if it's in my wheelhouse, I would be happy to make it. If it's not something I make, I definitely have people I can refer you over to for that. Having been in the industry for 32 years full-time and grown up with it, I know a few people. Okay, we got that one done. Let's go ahead and flatten it out. Get it to blend with the other one. There. And we're going to pull this down as well. All right, now we just have to blend all that together. So what I mean by blending, I'm going to try and get it as close as I can. Right near the front where those welds are, not the back part of the fin, but right where it joins the body up in the top, you can see these little ridge lines. I don't like those in there. I like to blend it so it looks like it's a single piece. So we're just going to weld that in. Get it to smooth out. This fin is going to move a little bit in that process. So I'll use my tweezers here to keep it blended. I like doing that for two reasons. One, it looks a hell of a lot better. But two, it actually prevents it from cracking. The more it's blended in, the better it is structurally. So you can see the top one is blended. That bottom one, you can see a little bit of that ridge, that little joint section right there. We're going to go ahead and smooth that out. So you use a combination of flames for that, big and small. Make sure we're lined up. There we go. So now we got the tail fully built. It's very smooth. It's looking good. Then we're going to start on the smaller side of the fins. And I think we got a shorter one here. Nope. Nope, got a long one. We're going to go ahead and pull this little end off too. Let's go ahead and start building that right now. Again, very nice and blended in. Okay, got that one done. We're going to come up on the top. They have another one that's just in front of that back one. Give it a little bit more of a pointy section. There. So now we got the two little ones added in there. And so far so good. We're looking good. Okay, I got to warm this whole thing up. So this isn't melting it together or melting it. It's just warming it back up a little. I need to put a couple 100 degrees into it real fast. Okay, now they have two little fins coming off to the side. Let's go ahead and get those added on. So yeah, if I feel pretty spunky tonight, we'll try the diver with it. Human forms are so hard to do. Get that all heated up right there, and let's go ahead and add the second one on here. Without wrecking the other fins behind it. And there we go. We got our nice little fins running back there. All right, here comes the hard part. We're going to do the actual dorsal fin up in the top. Make sure I place it correctly. This guy requires a little bit more thick glass here. No, we need one more layer. Okay, we got it on there basic. We need to refine it a little. So you can see a lot of ridges running in that top dorsal. It's not completely blended yet. So we're going to go ahead and use the microflame. Get everything melted in there. First part is right in the body section. I want to melt all that in. Like that. And grab it here. Pull it up. Get a little more blending. Do the other side. And pull it down just a little bit further now. This is the one fin that everybody always looks at. So it's got to be just right. And there we go. So now we got that big old familiar shark fin right there. I got one little spot in here. We're going to use a very, very micro flame. All right. Now we'll pull it down. So when I did that, it moved the fin a little bit off to the side. I'm going to straighten it back out. And now it's completely blended with the body. It's very hard to distinguish where that fin is welded and where it's not. And that's what I'm looking for. That little spot right there where it just, you can't make it out. We got to move it just a little this way. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now comes the side ones. We're going to tighten this up a little bit. Smooth that out. No, I have to remake that one. It's a little small. It looks like it has a T-Rex arm on it. It's too small. So we're going to pull it off and redo it. It has too much of a T-Rex look to it. This is the beauty of glass, too. You can go through and redo it with no impact on the overall outcome. So you can tear it off and redo it. You can do it as many times as you want. It doesn't hurt the glass. Let's go ahead and redo that one a little thicker this time. I'll take this end off to eliminate any bobbles. There we go. Let's do this again. Let's get it right. The last one, the length of it was fine. It was the width of the fin that was the problem for me. There we go. That's way better. So that's a little bit more proportionate to what the actual shark would technically have. Go ahead and smooth that out. And that's way better. So now it's proportionally correct. Doesn't look like it has a T-Rex arm. Let's go ahead and do the other one now. And I always keep this way out in the flame, keep it hot. So we got to build the same exact thing over here. Go ahead and pull it now. And that looks good. Let's go ahead and smooth that out. Nope, that's a colored rod. Don't want that. All right, so we got most of the fins all done on here. We're going to have to put an attachment rod to the back of that tail so I can finish the whole front of this guy. But before we do that, we got to warm it up. So again, this doesn't melt the glass, it just warms it up. It puts about 300-400 degrees heat into it. Not enough to melt it, just enough to warm it up. Okay, need a good holding rod here. We're going to cut this way down. It's a little too long. We'll just pop it in the water and break it off. Let it settle and cool down for a second. And we're going to start working on the head. Okay, we pulled that down. So one of the tricks on this guy is we have to flatten the head out a little bit. So not completely flatten, but angle it a little bit, because all the sharks have a little bit of like a flat line. So we're going to go ahead and manipulate it with our little paddle here. There you can see we kind of got that shark nose going on now. It's a lot cleaner that way. There's some flat spots we'll smooth out. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Happy Friday to everyone. We are doing a members only live stream on YouTube with the horizontal view. Vertical is everybody's welcome. TikTok, you guys are always on. It's all good. Let's go ahead and smooth all this out. All right, we're pretty close. I just got to move this just a little bit that way. And we're good on the head now. So the head's all situated. We're going to add in the little side gills, eyeballs. Got my trusty Spyderco. This is like my favorite knife to carve out of with the glass. Remove any harsh spots on there, but now you can see we got the gills running in through the side. Little breathing apparatus. Going to do the same thing to the other side. And then poke a couple little eyeballs in there. Okay, last little spot is pull this front a little bit closer. All right, last little bit. I normally don't do this, but we're going to put a little bit of a jawline in it for the mouth. And then one last little pull. Let gravity take it down. And there's our shark so far. All right, we're going to garage that in the kiln temporarily. And then when I get ready to add it to the full sculpture, I can change the body a little bit. All right, before we go too far, I'm going to build the base that the shark is going to sit on real quick, and then we'll see about doing a scuba diver. So we're going to make a little mounting section for it real quick. I'm going to try and get it kind of wavy looking, like it's breaching the water. So I gotta create simulated water. Pull all this bad glass off. All right, so first thing is we're going to build a little bit of bulk here, and then I'm going to start trying to add little splashy waves off of it. How's everybody doing? Good to see a members only stream going too. Hi Christy. What's up? Hi Groves. All right, while I'm building this up, I'll bring over the filter for those of you who've never seen it before. So my glasses are made out of a material called titanium, and they filter out certain light spectrums. So you can see here how it's kind of filtering out some of the super bright stuff. And that's how I can see exactly what's going on. Like that. All right, so we got the start. We're going to put a holding rod onto the end. And I can build it up a little better. There we go. So we're going to build up a bunch of bulk here. I'm going to kind of flatten it out, throw in some ridges, and then try and create a splashy wave look. I haven't really done that before, so I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants on it. Or today, fly by the seat of my shorts. I'm wearing shorts today. Too hot for pants. All right, so we got some bulk built up. Some people call it a gather, but I just call it a bulk. Let it droop a little. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to attach a scuba diver too. I think I have an idea for it. And there's our dinner bell from last night. I got to put that off to the side. I'm going to need that little spot right there. I'm going to bring it over and flatten a little bit, not much. Like that. So we've just got this little discish looking shape here. Then I'm going to carve into it, create some lines. basically we just carved a little bit of texture into it, and that way when I pull it out, it doesn't look so just kind of flat. I'm going to go ahead and heat this up and bend it over. Just a little, not too much. Doesn't need a lot of detail. Got one little spot in there I need to polish in. So it's just kind of like a little simulated wave so far. Okay. Now comes the wavy part. It almost looks like a hand. It's starting to look like a freaking hand right now. Doesn't it? Looks like a hand. I never saw that before because I've made one of these. That's fun. So we got a couple little now we're going to add a whole bunch of those around here so it kind of looks like it's splashing. one over here. So we're starting to get there. So I want it to kind of look like it's splashing out of water. So we got some of this done. Then we'll add little extensions off of each of these so they look like water splashes coming off when I get there. There. So we're starting to get there, but until I put the little water droplets coming off the sides of it, it just kind of looks like a flower gone wrong. So let's go ahead and start trying to add some of that on there. Okay, let's do the other side real quick. So I know it's not going to look complete yet, but you can see we're adding little water droplets coming off of the splashes here. And as I start adding it, it should start looking like a little bit of a wave section. get this other section done here, and I'll show you where we're at. This is taking longer than the shark. All right, one more section back here. And then we'll work on the front part. So now we can see, I hope you guys can see the water drops coming off there a little bit. So now it's starting to get that splashy effect. Let's go ahead and warm this up for a second. What's up, Wendy? How you doing? So this, again, this is just putting a little heat into the piece. I'm not trying to remelt it. Just adding a couple 100 degrees back into it. Let's go ahead and add the rest of it on here. And it really won't look complete until the shark gets on it. And then you just let gravity kind of pull it down like water naturally would. It starts giving that effect. Add a few more in here. And we got to come up to this main wave up here and add some droplets off of it. think I want to add a couple on here too. Sorry. All right, there's my splashy effect. So we should have that wave kind of starting to form right there. All right, next step, I got to pull this off and put a good little holding rod down there. And then we'll grab the shark, attach it to that, give it a little bit of a jumping up look. Go too far. I'm going to add a little bit right here. That's what it was missing. Much better. All right, so we're going to pull it off down here, create that little bit of a wave effect. And then we'll grab the shark, put it on there, give the shark a little bit of a body movement. There, now it's starting to look a little more like a splashy wave. Man, it's hot. This has to be super strong. That's where all the weight is going to be centered, right on that little point right there. So that little hot spot right there is where the shark is actually going to get attached. I'm going to park that in the kiln for a second. I need some water. It's getting hot. Earbuds are a little off or something here. Okay. We are going to put gloves on for this. It does get a little bit warm. And then we're going to grab that shark and attach it. And then we're going to move the shark around. Move the body a little bit. Contort it. There's our wave. Let's warm it up real fast. So this is just warming it up again. Glad to see everybody on the members channel checking out the live stream. I appreciate you guys. All right. Let's grab our shark. Right about there. Tighten that up a little. Last little heating right here. Okay, let's go ahead and heat the body up a little. I'm going to go ahead and remove that tail section now. All right, you can see we kind of bent the shark a little bit. We got it kind of coming off the wave. I'm going to park that in the kiln temporarily. Then I'm going to try a scuba diver. I don't know if I can do a scuba diver. I have to pull up a photo of it. I have to pull up a photo of scuba diver. Hold on one second here. Okay. All right. I think I have an idea for it. So we're going to try the scuba diver. I've never done it before. So let's see if we can make a little scuba diver. Now we can't make it too big. We want to make it proportional to the shark a little bit. Set that down. So we're gonna try it out here. So we're kind of working on the torso, the bottom half of it right now. So there's one thigh. Sounds like I'm placing a chicken order. There we're starting the legs right now. Now once I get the legs kind of built, I can move them a little bit, but I don't want them touching right now. Okay, let's see here. Okay. It looks like it's walking right now. It just looks like it's walking. Let's put a couple little kneecaps in here. All right, we're going to start with fin number 1. I need some thin glass. So we got the first fin on there. So we got leg number 1 kind of done. Gonna add the second one on here. I wish I had my little skinny rod here. Do I have one? I just had one. There it is. This will make my life a lot easier. All right, so we got the back half of the scuba diver all set, kind of swimming in action. All right, now comes the hard part. Got to put a little holding rod there. Looks like it's locking, right? Okay, we got to give it shoulders. It looks totally goofy, right? Looks like a freaking alien right now. But until it's done, that's the process of building them. Unfortunately, that is the process. Okay, got that one done. All right, let's see here. Unfortunately, with hands this small, you can't get too detailed. So you just kind of have to give an impression of a hand like that. It's not perfect yet, but you can only do so much on a small size like this. Okay. I know it still doesn't look completely like a scuba diver yet, but we're getting there. It needs a head. We got to bend it a little. Needs the entire head, torso, the scuba tank, and everything else. So I'm going to park that in the kiln. We're going to make the head separate and the tank, and then we'll attach everything on there. Let's go ahead and build the head real quick. I got to look at scuba gear mask. Okay. There's our basic head. Looks like a blob gone wrong. We're going to build the mask real quick. Put the breathing apparatus on. So I can't get too detailed, but you can see the mask is starting to go on. We got the breathing apparatus on there. And we're going to go ahead and attach it to the actual sculpture real quick. All right. Right now I'm doing a scuba diver to add to the shark we just did earlier. Okay, I want to move the arm a little bit. So until I get the tank and everything on there, it looks a little goofy, but once we get the tank on and everything, it's going to take shape. Once I get that tank on there. So I got to build the oxygen tank for it, and we'll pop it on. Then we'll do the little hose connecting the two. Let's go ahead and build that tank now. And then we'll attach it and add a little air hose going from the mask all the way to the tank. It's welded on there pretty good. Get that rounded out. So we got the little tank on there now, and I just have to create a little oxygen hose. So there we got the little oxygen hose on there now with the scuba diver. All right, let me put my gloves on and we'll attach it to the sculpture. And see how it looks. I don't know, it looks okay for my first one. For my first scuba diver, that's not bad. I'd never made one of those. Cucumber mint water. All right, so here we go. There's our shark sculpture, so we're going to put the scuba diver on with that. I made him a bit big. Okay, there's the scuba diver with the shark. We're probably going to frost part of the shark and scuba diver, but it's kind of freaking cool. I wish I could show you it full blown, but I can't hold the rod straight up. There's our shark, scuba diver on a wave. Once I'm able to frost that up, it will definitely look cool. Yeah, for my first time, I don't want to... Thank you for the galaxies, Christy. Christy, thank you. Yeah, for my first time, I didn't want to mess with it too much. I probably shouldn't have even attempted to put it on a shark, because that was like the very first scuba diver I've ever done. So that was a little bit scary for me. All right. So with that being said, I want to create another ring holder. For those of you who haven't seen it, so we make these little ring holders out of seashells. So I want to make that real quick. Someone asked me about one. So we're going to make the actual ring holder real quick. That's why I have this up here. Get those big explosions. So we're going to make the ring holder out of a seashell, and then the center pearl will be where the ring sits. So the ring will go inside the shell, and then it goes right around the pearl so it won't fall off. We're going to go ahead and take this down, clean it up. Then we'll attach a little holding rod to it. And I'll be able to start making the shell. What do you guys think I should do for the pearl? Should I do uranium glass or should we do white? Like make a white pearl or uranium? You guys vote in chat. Uranium or white? So we can do uranium green or white. How hot does the glass get? Roughly 4,000 degrees. The flame. The glass runs about 3,000, 3,300. And if I have another one, this will make life so much easier. I do. So we're going to attach here, and then we're going to separate it right about there. And we just have to melt it down, flatten it, and then we're going to use needle nose pliers to create the shell impressions. Uranium, white, uranium. Wow, it's pretty close there. White is pretty dominant on... Looks like white might have the winner there. Okay, so we're going to set that off to the side. And we're going to melt this down, create a little bit of a ball shape. Then we're going to flatten it. And then, like I said, we'll use needle nose pliers and crimp it. Get that shell shape. I'll make a second half. We'll put the pearl on and then fuse them together. They make a really nice ring holder though. So like it's a nice little, especially for a shell, it's nice to have in a bathroom. You can put your ring down so it doesn't go down the sink. Okay, a little bit more. So now we got the lollipop effect. I think I had my bigger needle nose here. Yep, I need these longer ones. So these are just regular needle nose pliers, nothing special. Just hardware store needle nose pliers. But they make a great shell. Look at that. So it makes a really good shell image. Then we got to scallop it a little bit. Now this piece is actually relatively easy to make. Yeah, this is a fairly easy piece to make. And we're going to go ahead and attach a little holding rod to the end. Originally, I used to make these really small back in Vegas when I worked there. They were like a super popular item. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tear it off at the back here. Then I'm going to make the second half. We'll make the little pearl for it. So there's one half of the shell, like that. Let's do the other half. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Melissa. Maybe we'll do a hybrid. We'll do uranium and white. We'll do a combo of both. I'll mix the two colors. It'll look white, but it'll glow in the dark under black light. Then we don't have to decide. Okay, so we just have to bulk this up. We're going to flatten it the same way. The only difference is this one I'm going to go ahead and curve a little bit on the top. So the bottom one should stay flat, which is what I just put in the kiln. This one should curve a little bit. All right, a little bit more. Okay, here we go. There's our lollipop mode. Slim, thank you so much for that. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and smash it down. And there's our shell shape right there. So this one I am going to curve a little bit. A little bit more on that side. So it adds a little character to it. You can see how it's got that kind of shell shape now. All right, Chris, you have a good one. Slim, I can't remember if you're part of the members on YouTube. You should join. You should join on the members. I can't remember if you are. Yes, you are. There you go. I appreciate you, man. I thought you were. You guys, definitely on members, definitely take a look at the benefits that are coming. I've been changing them a little bit. I printed out everybody's name that's currently a member on there too. Same with TikTok. I think they're called super fans now on TikTok. I can't remember. But I got some cool stuff for everybody that is members all the way up through the end of this month, which is tomorrow. Holy crap. Tomorrow's I forgot tomorrow changes the month. Oh. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out on the member page, both TikTok and YouTube. All right, there's our shell. We're going to burn off the back end. I got to make the pearl. We're going to put the pearl on, and then we'll attach the two halves. And this is such a cool piece for like hanging around. A ring holder is always needed, especially if you have like the aura rings. Red Squeak, thank you so much for the super chat. So if you wear one of the aura rings or one of the smart rings, this works really well. It won't charge it, unfortunately, but all right, so there's our one shell right there. Let me go ahead and combine uranium and white. And then we're going to make a little tiny pearl. And that's what holds the ring in there. So there's our uranium glass. Like that, and I'm going to add a little ghost to it too. This color is called Ghost. It literally looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Hence the name. We're going to mix that up. So this will be a custom color. It's actually kind of cool. White with uranium that will glow under black light. All right, we're going to go ahead and separate it. I just got to make sure the pearl is smaller than I normally do. I'm always used to making them for my own hand, and I got like a size 15 finger. Yep, I said size 15. I got big old fingers. Size 8 head and a 15 finger. You know how hard it is to find rings and crap? Rings and hats. I can't ever find them. All right, we're going to pull this down. There we go. So there's the little pearl we're going to start. I'm going to round it out a little bit more. I got to pull a tiny bit off. Hold on. There. All right, so there's our little pearl that we're going to go ahead and attach to the shell. These are available too. If you would like to purchase at some point, they are available. And they make a great gift. Let's go ahead and separate. Oh, that actually looks really cool. The color's beautiful. Okay, we got that. Now we got to put a tiny little clear dot in there so that it adheres to the pearl or the shell. Like that. So that little nub right there will fit in between the creases of the shell, and that way the pearl stands up. You want to have a little bit of lift to it. All right, let's warm this up. All right, here we go. So there's the pearl sitting on the shell. And we're going to grab the other half and fuse it together. And here we go. I'm going to do a gold edging on this tomorrow probably too. So I have a liquid gold that I can use on here and give it a really nice golden edge. I gotta hurry up and wait here. It still wants to move. And it's still moving. Okay. So you can kind of see it sitting in there. It's such a cool piece. There, like that. So yeah, the ring will fit right in there, sits right in the pearl, and it just makes a nice little, like I said, it's something that not a lot of people have. You don't see it all the time. Hey, what's up, Betty? How are you doing? Good to see you. Okay, that's been roughly 2.5 hours. You know, it's time for me to take a quick break and get a stretch. Not sure I'll be back on tonight, but I'm definitely on tomorrow. If I feel like I can come on tonight because I feel like I'm in the mood to make some more funky stuff. Before we go, I do want to check this camera. So it's only going to be on vertical. There. So this is a different camera on the vertical. I want to just do a quick test with like visual with the torch. I want to see how blinding the flame is. So on the vertical side, it's a whole new camera. Oh, I got to make the... No, I can't go yet. I got to make the clacker for the bell. Crap. I'm not done yet. So this is the dinner bell that we did last night. I call it the dinner bell because it's got the shark and it's a bell. Get it? Dinner bell for the ocean. So I got to make the little bell part for that. I forgot. Yeah. I forgot all about that. Oh, it's okay, Dragonfly. If you need to go, it's okay. I'm not going to be that much longer. I just got to make the little ding ding in here. Stephanie thought it'd be cool to make a little arm or like a something from sharks biting in there as a clacker. I said, maybe next one. But yeah, this is the shark bell. I call it dinner bell because it's the shark. I just think it's funny. My sense of humor is a little odd. The dinner bell. So I got to make the clacker for it. Okay, we're just going to tighten that up a little bit. So it doesn't get locked all the way in, but it comes through and you make like a little shepherd's hook and then it'll fit right on the bottom of that bell with the hook right there. Let me go see. That's a bit long. So we got to fix it real quick. It's a tiny bit long. The hook is good. Yeah, that should work. I'm going to widen it out just a touch though. So I'm just going to shrink it down a hair. Make the clacker a little bit wider so it hits the bell. Yeah, that'll work way better. So yeah, that's the little dinger for the bell. and I'll test it out tomorrow and see, or later tonight, and see if it dings. All right, before I go, I'm going to show you guys. I can only hold it out for a few minutes, but I'm going to bring out the diver and shark. All right, let me go back to normal camera. There we go. So I can't hold it out too long. It will crack if I bring it out too long. But here we go. So there's the shark, and then there's the little scuba diver right next to it. And that'll get mounted. There's our shark and scuba diver. And that's what we did tonight. Oh, I love that one. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, now I'm off. So, thank you so much. All right, you guys. I'll see you maybe tonight, but definitely tomorrow. Thank you so much, and thank you to all the members. I hope you enjoyed your members only live